Blessings and peace, everyone. Unfortunately, it is a known fact that we have to coexist in a world designed for people to do things to pick us apart. We have to coexist in a world with people who design schemes and set traps to bring you to your knees. Unfortunately, that's a fact of life, of the world that we live in today. But see, as a child of God, and I'm speaking to you, son of God, daughter of God, what the enemies failed to realize, they didn't know that you had been dwelling in the secret place of the Most High God. They failed to realize that you had been abiding under the shadow of the Almighty. They also failed to realize that when you dwell in the secret place and you abide under the shadow of the Almighty, that is your place of safety, refuge, and protection. You see, the enemy wants to keep their foot on your neck. They want to bring you lower than them. But see, what they didn't expect is that while they were planning and scheming to bring you low, you were abiding in the shadow of the Almighty. You were dwelling in the secret place. And the secret place sets you high above your enemies where they can't touch you. So go ahead and let them devise their schemes to pick you apart. Let them go ahead and plot ways to bring you to your knees. But see, when you go to your knees, what they expected to happen, it's not going to happen. You see, as a child of the Most High God, you are privy to confidential information in which your enemies have no clue. You are privy to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that your enemies will never be able to get a hold of. You see, what they expect is for you to fall to your knees in a breakdown. They expect you to fall to your knees to break apart. They expect you to fall to your knees and curl up in a fetal position and never recover and never get back up again. But the devil is a liar. You see, they plotted and planned for you to fall to your knees, and while you were down there, for you to wave the white flag of surrender so that they could feel like they were winning, so that they could get the victory over you. But they didn't plan on this, that when you fall to your knees, you're not falling to your knees to crumble and fall apart. You're falling to your knees in humility and prayer to the Most High God. You're falling to your knees in prayer to the Commander-in-Chief of heaven's armies. And when he sees you falling to your knees in humility to fight these battles that have been waged against you in prayer, guess what he does? My friend, he stands up for you. When you fall to your knees, God stands up. And when God stands up for you, your enemies must sit down. And if they refuse to sit down, then they will find themselves falling down. And so don't worry. Don't worry about these character assassinating tactics that they're using against you in order to bring you down, in order to try to ruin you. Because as a child of the Most High God, you have the heart of God inside of you. And with the heart of God comes integrity, and there's character that walks right alongside that integrity. And so no matter what they plot and plan and scheme against you, no matter what weapons they form against you, it won't work. Remember this, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you thou shalt condemn. You see, your integrity will silence your enemies. If you don't hear anything else that I'm saying on today, remember this, child of God. Your integrity will silence your enemies. You see, for a child of God, whatever the enemies meant for evil, God will turn it around and work it out for your good. And one thing, because you belong to the Most High God, your character will speak for itself. You see, the truth, because we serve a God of truth. We serve a God of righteousness. We serve a God of justice. The truth will always outlive a lie. And your character, God will allow your character to speak volumes above the lies that's coming against you. You see, they say that a lie travels faster than the truth. And yes, it does. That's a fact. But see, while the lie is traveling fast, eventually it runs out of gas. Eventually it runs out of steam. Eventually a lie will lose its effectiveness. Eventually a lie will fall to the ground and become null and void. And when it does, the slow and steady character and integrity of the truth will always win. It will always outlive the fast-moving lie. Because anything that moves too fast, eventually it must slow down. Remember that old saying, what goes up must come down. And so I just wanted to encourage someone on today that when you get a whiff of your enemies plotting and planning to pick you apart and to bring you to your knees, when you go to your knees in prayer, ask God to fortify your gates. Because see, that's the only way that the enemy can get in, when your gates are left unfortified. Ask the Lord to repair your fences. Ask the Lord to repair the breach so that your enemies will no longer be able to get a foothold into your life. And also ask the Lord to build a hedge of protection around you that's so wide and so high and so deep that your enemies don't stand a chance. So I thank you so much for listening on tonight. I hope this video encouraged your heart. And I thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed evening.